Hey guys, it's Mega Robert from Mega Robert TV, and today I'm going to review issue 45 of Mega Man. So this issue starts out where Mega Man and Rush are flying through the sky while Mega Man is trying to get a signal out to Dr. Light. Because since last issue, Mega Man hasn't heard anything from Light Labs and he's starting to get a little panicky. So he's flying through the sky and he looks down and he realizes that Light Labs is on fire. So he's starting to freak out now, and before he can go down and help, he starts hearing this whistling, and before he knows it, he gets shot out of the sky by Breakman. So Mega Man crashes into the ground, and then Breakman shows up with his, gun pointed at him, and Breakman, he goes, "Sorry, Mega Man, the doctors can't see you right now." And, I read this on page 2, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is one of the coolest lines I have read from Breakman in, forever. So, the issue is starting out on a great note. So that scene finishes there. And then the next scene that we see is Dr. Light, getting kind of threatened by Dr. Wily and Doc Robot now. And Doc Robot is just kind of burning down the walls of Light Labs. So, I assumed at this point that he was just going to burn the whole place down. But, we'll get to what happens next in a second. So, Doc Robot is burning the walls down. And Dr. Wily, he's like, "All right, Dr. Light, I'm making a pretty good deal with you right now. All I want you to do is surrender and, give me Gamma too. But besides that, all you have to do is surrender." And then Dr. Light, he's like, "No way am I going to do that." And then Roll is like, "Yeah, he's not going to do that." And she grabs a broom and she attacks Doc Robot, which honestly isn't the smartest thing to do, but she does it anyway. And, she does that, and of course the broom snaps, and Doc Robot is just more angry now. But the cool thing that we see with Doc Robot here is that not only does he have all the weapons of the Mega Man 2 Robot Masters, but he also has all the personalities of the Mega Man 2 Robot Masters. And the problem for him is that, all his personalities are always conflicting, because Airman is kind of, pretty patient with this. He's like, "All right, maybe we should just let the girl go, we don't want to hurt her." But then Crashman is like, "Let's blow her up." And then Woodman's like, "We should have a fair trial with this." And they're all kind of trying to reason out what to do right now, but they can't, because of all their personalities just going against each other. So what they do is they shoot a huge bubble of acid at Roll by accident, and they shoot it, and Roll just jumps out of the way right in time before it explodes. And they didn't mean to do that, but they did that, and it almost put everybody in danger right there. So Dr. Wily's just like, "Okay, Doc Robot, calm down." Doc Robot's like, "It's not our fault. You were the one who couldn't program us correctly." And then Dr. Light looks at Dr. Wily like, "What are they talking about?" And then Dr. Wily's like, "Oh yeah, I sort of rushed this project to put all their personalities together. And I think it worked out pretty good, but honestly, it's probably a little, there's a couple of failures in there." So that just kind of shows us that Doc Robot isn't really complete yet, and that's probably going to cause a lot of problems for him when he fights Mega Man down the road. So Dr. Wily looks at Dr. Light and he's like, "All right, Thomas, my deal still stands. Are you going to give me Gamma or not?" And Dr. Light is about to say no, but then he looks at Roll and he realizes that he has 2 kids that he has to take care of. So, he doesn't want them to get hurt. So he tells Dr. Wily, he goes, "All right, Albert, I'll give you Gamma, just don't hurt them." And he goes, "All right." So they go to the bunker where, Dr. Light keeps Gamma, and as they do that, we flip back to the scene with Mega Man fighting Breakman. So Mega Man is throwing shadow blades at Breakman, but nothing really seems to be doing the trick. So Proto Man kicks Rush and he aims his blaster at him, and then Mega Man is like, "No, Breakman, please don't hurt Rush." And then, Breakman still has his arm ready, and he's like, "Why shouldn't I hurt him?" And Mega Man's like, "He's my dog, you can't hurt him." And Breakman's like, "Well, what does it matter that it's your dog? You really care about him that much?" So Mega Man understands that Breakman really has no emotion for that. So he goes at it from a different angle, and he's like, "Well, Breakman, if you kill Rush, you destroy all the IC chips from the old Robot Masters, and they can't come back to life." And Breakman's like, "Oh, that's pretty ironic coming from their executioner." So, that's another cool line that Breakman says. He has a lot of awesome lines in this issue. And, Mega Man, he kind of starts giving that generic speech again, and he's like, "I didn't want to hurt them." And then Breakman, is just kind of listening through it, and then Mega Man's like, "Blues, we don't have to do this." And then Breakman's like, "Blues, I'm not Blues. Blues is my old life. I am Breakman." And as he says that, he gets interrupted because Light Labs blows up. And I didn't expect this at all. I'm reading the issue, and I'm like, wait a second, did they just blow up Light Labs? How how did that happen? And I'm freaked out, and then Mega Man, he's freaked out, and Breakman doesn't even know what's going on. He looks over and he calls Dr. Wily. He's like, Dr. Wily, what did you just do? And Dr. Wily's laughing like crazy, and he's like, all right, Breakman, just go to the base and I'll tell you in a second. So Breakman, he's like, all right, Mega Man, this part of the plan wasn't my idea, but here. And he throws him a flash drive and he goes, those are for the coordinates when you get repaired. Once you get fixed up, you go to those coordinates and we'll settle it there. And then Breakman, teleports and leaves. So we go back to the scene with Dr. Wily and Dr. Light. And Dr. Light's like, Wily, what did you just do right now? And Dr. Wily's like, oh, don't worry about it. That was just my goodbye present for you, but I'll be taking my way now. And, he grabs Gamma and he opens up the teleporter and he leaves. And as the second he does that, Mega Man flies in and he's like, Roll, Dr. Light, are you okay? And, Roll hugs him, and she's like, no, I'm fine. But Dr. Light's like, Mega Man, you think I'm fine? I'm not fine. I'm a fool, that's what I am. Dr. Wily played me like a senile fool. I'm such an idiot. And he says that, and he starts crying. And he's like, I always believed my whole life that people were secretly, good at heart all the time. But I was wrong. I was just an idiot. How could I believe that? Dr. Wily just stole Gamma, and he's going to destroy the world now, and it's all my fault. So Roll and Mega Man go on the balcony, and Roll hugs Dr. Light, and she's like, no, Daddy, you're not a fool. You're just trying to do what's best for the world, and sometimes that gets a little tough. And Dr. Light, he starts to get a little more calm now, and he looks at Mega Man, and he goes, okay, Mega Man, I need to ask you something, and I know it's not fair to you, but will you save the world one more time for us? And then, Mega Man, he looks back at him, and he's like, you know the answer to that. I'm not going to leave the world in peril like this. And, Dr. Light hugs him. And then, after that, we go into this little montage of everybody getting ready for the final battle. So we see Mega Man getting repaired. And then we see Dr. Wily working on his new mind control device to, control Gamma. And he's putting that together. So we go, to maybe a couple days later when everything's ready. And, Mega Man is suited up and he's ready to go. And then Dr. Light's like, okay, are you ready, Mega Man? I'm about to open up the teleporter. And Mega Man's like, come on, Rush. It's time to be heroes again. So he says that, and then he's teleported up to the moon, or maybe a small asteroid. And he lands on the moon, and he's there, and he looks over, and he sees Dr. Wily's new castle, and the person that's in front of him is Breakman. So that's where the issue ends. So I know I say this a lot, but I think this issue was really the best Mega Man issue I have read in a couple of months, because I thought the first part of the Mega Man 3 arc was really good, but I definitely felt that after a while it sort of started getting repetitive. But this issue just kind of felt like it brought everything that Mega Man 3 had to offer, and it just showed it all in one issue. And I really like this one, and I think a big part of that has to do with the pencils by Ryan Odegawa. I hope I'm saying his name right. If I'm saying it wrong, please excuse me, because I've never heard of him before. And he does the pencils, and the inks are done by Gary Martin. And together they do a really awesome job. So I think that this issue definitely has some of the best art from the Mega Man 3 arc, because I've really never seen the inks done like this before, maybe except in the last part of the Worlds Collide crossover. And if you own that part, or you've seen my review, you can probably compare the two and see what I'm talking about. But this issue looked great, and I thought the story was really well written. So I think if the Mega Man 3 arc continues to be this awesome until the end, then I think it'll definitely be up there with some of the best Mega Man stories to date. So, question of the day, what do you guys think? Tell me in the comment section below. So, yeah guys, this is Mega Robert, signing off.